Hi again, I'm back in Centerparcs, this time in the Whinfell Forest in the north of England in the Lake District in Cumbria. And as you can see, it's a really beautiful part of the world. It's serene, it's tranquil, but you know for sure there's a dad somewhere nearby, lost, looking at a map, trying to figure out his way to get around. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about the accommodation first. So from the outside, it's like a fairy woodland retreat. And in here, it's kind of like an IKEA wet dream. No, to be fair, the lodges are actually really cozy. And if you come in wintertime like I have, they're really affordable. This 6-person lodge costs £489 for the 5-day break. That includes free entry into the subtropical swimming paradise, which has tons of slides and is a nice constant 30 degrees Celsius inside. So it's like a giant greenhouse. You'll enter with confidence, but you know, once you go down those rapids, you're going to feel more like a wet Victorian child. Now, when you're just walking about the village here in the forest, one of the great things about it is there's no cars. Once you arrive and you park your car, you don't see it again. And that is a good thing because you don't want to be walking around having cars zipping by. There's no cars at all once you're in here, once you're parked up on the first day of arrival. And that means that it's extremely safe for walking or cycling if you're going to be cycling instead of walking. In fact, don't be surprised if you're constantly overtaken and humbled by 7-year-olds whizzing past you on the hills. One of the other things that is great about Centerparcs, and one of the reasons that I personally like to come back here nearly every year, is the fact that not just that you're in nature, but the fact that nature comes to you. You'll regularly get ducks and squirrels coming up to your doorway to say hello. Honestly, it's like something from Bambi. It really is special. Okay, now let's talk about activities. Now, like I said, the cost for the lodge, I think, is really affordable at this time of the year. It's a really good value. But I think a lot of people don't realise that a lot of the activities are actually free. Like there's playgrounds for kids that are free. There's soft play areas for children that are free. All of the swimming area is free. All those slides and everything, that's all free once you've paid to get in here. There's a nature centre that you can go to and do interactive stuff. That's free. Just walking about in the nature is free. And not only that, but also if you come at this time of the year, there is something called the Wishlight Village. Here it is. It's like a fairy lights extravaganza. And if you come here at certain times of the day, you'll also see performances from people that do a kind of like a bit of an outdoor show for you. As for paid activities like the badminton, tennis, kayaking, climbing, crazy golf, bowling, which is set in this funky UV lighted area, it's a bit more expensive than you would pay outside of Centerparcs or back home from wherever you're from. Same with the meals in the restaurants. Everything's a bit more expensive for the paid stuff. And despite the fact that, yes, it's going to be close to the cost of a small mortgage to go out for a meal, it doesn't matter because, like I said, the free stuff that you get, the swimming paradise and the good value accommodation, it kind of offsets. So it's kind of like a balance. So some things are a bit more expensive, some things you get for free. You can do a bit of both and it kind of meets you in the middle, in my opinion. But overall, I just think it's great to come here at this time of the year because you're not going to get much else for this kind of value. And the fact that you're in nature, it's a portal to presence. I go on about this a lot in my other channel, Challenge Jackson, so go check that out if you haven't already. In fact, I've released a free ebook and audiobook. I released it at Christmas, so not that long ago. It's on my other channel. I'll leave a link for it in the description of this video. But yeah, just getting out into nature, regardless of whether you read my book or come to Centerparcs, getting out into nature is always good, and I always recommend that to people. So I also recommend that you come to Centerparcs. I just think it's really good. I've always enjoyed my time here. Nobody's paying me to say this. I just really think it's really good here, and I would always recommend for other people to come and check it out, especially at this time of the year when it's the best value. All right, I hope you got something from this. I know this isn't as long as my other reviews of Centerparcs from Sherwood Forest, which I did last year. If you want to go and check that one out. Maybe I'll go with different Centerparcs next year down in the south of England, one that I've never been to. Could be interesting to see how they contrast with each other. But so far, every Centerparcs I've been to has been great. So highly recommend. See you next time. Ciao.